And we are live, ladies and gentlemen. How are you doing this Friday the 13th? Good to be with you once again. See, occasionally I get a cough. Hang on, folks. Well, that's a bad way to start a live stream. How you doing, everybody? It's Friday the 13th. We're getting ready to get started here. Philadelphia and Dallas will be the HTFL game tonight. It's Friday the 13th. Just say I felt better. And just leave it at that. Uh, so the world's going around as it always does, and I did something a little silly today. I was seeing about employment, knowing that these people would probably not give me the job. But you could never give up, and once you give up, then you lose all hope. And I still have a few ideas, so just keep the faith, everybody. We'll get through it. I definitely want to keep these live streams and broadcasts going, but we'll see. As I kick the where I have my first monitor, I have two monitors, and I run OBS on the second monitor, and I run the game. It's all about the game and how you play it. On monitor one, the big monitor, and that's what you see when the game is on. Philadeelphia and Dallas. Of course, in real life, in 2020, they're not doing, each of them not doing too well, and the HTFL is kind of like that because Philadeelphia and Dallas are each on the outside looking in right now in the Eastern Conference. If you didn't hear today, Paul Hornung passed away at the age of 84. Now, of course, I'm 49, so I can remember Paul Hornung doing games with Lindsey Nelson on CBS, and because they weren't considered a top crew, they would wind up doing like 3 or 4 Bucks games a year. And Lindsey Nelson, if you're not you're not old enough to know who he is. He was the mainly a baseball announcer for the Mets, but he also did football. He did Notre Dame with Paul Hornung, and he would do the CBS games. And usually, how it worked was that Lindsey and Paul would do the Notre Dame game, and they would do the game in a way where it would be juxtaposed, and they would make a 3-hour game into an hour. And here's Notre Dame playing the University of Miami, and Nelson had this voice that reminded me of Gene Autry, the singer we hear uh, at Christmas time doing "Here Comes Santa Claus, Here Comes Santa Claus." He kind of had that voice. He had that Tennessee drawl. And he and Paul Hornung made a great team, and they were on CBS, and I think they eventually did college football games on TBS, WTBS, when they had, I think, SEC games or something like that. And 3 or 4 times a year, especially when the Bucks got good in the late 70s and early 80s, we'd get Lindsey Nelson and Paul Hornung. This is Eckwood. Eckwood to the 5, Eckwood to the 10, Eckwood to the 15, and he's down at the 17-yard line. And with Lindsey, yard line was like a word. One word, not 2 words. Yard line. But now Paul and Lindsey are back together again in the great above. And my condolences to the family of Paul Hornung. This HTFL season has gone on so long, we've lost a couple of players that we've been featuring. We lost Gale Sayers a few weeks back, and we lost Paul Hornung today. Don Shula, of course, passed away a few months back, but I don't remember if I had started this project or not. So there's that, and the Masters is still going on. It's weird watching the Masters play at 5, 5:30, 6 o'clock on ESPN. They're doing the first 2 rounds, and they'll do the last 2 rounds on CBS tomorrow. And they're doing it in November, and it gets dark like 5:30, 6 o'clock. When you usually watch the Masters, they usually are it usually gets dark 7:30, 8 o'clock if if rain delays them or if they've had a long round or something like that. It's weird to watch the Masters and they have to play it early because of it's November and they don't have as much time to get the rounds in. I don't think they got the second round in today because they had a 3 hour rain delay, and they're going to be fighting this all week because I don't know if they're going to have enough time to catch up. You might see the Masters go into Monday uh, with players finishing rounds. You could see. Now, this is going to be an interesting situation for CBS because they want to get the tournament off the air at 3 o'clock so they could go to NFL football at 4. But say they're in a situation where they have to go to 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock and beyond. I wonder what their backup plan is to go to the Golf Channel or go to the CBS Sports Network. What are they going to do with the football games that CBS is airing at 4 o'clock? That's going to be very interesting to see how CBS plays it because they've never been in this situation where um, Jim Nance, who normally does the football for CBS and is anchoring Super Bowl 55 here in Tampa in a few weeks, COVID permitting, and there's talk of a shutdown once President Biden is installed, if he's installed, because that's not. Even though it appears that he has won, there are supporters of the other man who are saying, "Hey, he hasn't won yet," and until he concedes, I gotta hold open the fact that that could be a possibility. But I don't know what CBS will do if it's 4 o'clock and they're still playing the Masters. I really don't know how they will handle that. They could probably play up until almost 6 o'clock, and they will want to get the tournament done by 3. But is that going to happen, especially with the rain delay? I don't think so. They're handing out hardware, Player of the Year honors. Kevin Cash won Manager of the Year. Tampa Bay Rays skipper won American League Manager of the Year. I think everybody's going to remember for the longest time that boner he pulled in the sixth game of the series when they pulled Blake Snell and how that cost them. Snell was pitching fine, but I've been a Rays fan for a long time, and it's something I've noticed through the year. They never let Snell pitch through his trouble, especially if the game gets into the middle innings and Snell is still like at 60, 70, 80 pitches. They never let Snell pitch out of a jam. And I understand that baseball is all analytical now, but I kind of miss the old days when if you got your best pitcher, you give him a shot, and I kind of miss that. And this is the sixth game of the World Series. What are you doing, yanking them? Because if you lose, there is no tomorrow. And that's exactly what happened, and the Dodgers won the World Series. I have nothing against the Dodgers. The Dodgers were an outstanding organization, still are. The organization that brought us Vin Scully. Vin Scully was like with them like since 1948 when they were in Brooklyn onward. That's quite a. You'll never see a broadcaster work. What was it like 60, 70, 65, 70 years with one team, ever. I don't think even Joe Buck will last that long. Joe Buck. I think Joe Buck wants to move on. I think maybe he will drop baseball and football as he gets up there in years. And he's 50 now, 50, 51, something like that. So I have a feeling he's not going to keep doing baseball and football, especially, in October they have scheduling conflicts. So we're down to 5 minutes and 10 seconds. We're up to 81 subscribers. I thank you all for dropping by. Did my Grand Slam wrestling matches, which I put up on the Delphi board. Did my East. So Grand Slam wrestling we should probably be doing tomorrow at some point or Sunday. It might run a little slow on that, but we'll see. I only have a couple more weeks to do, and then I'm going to take a breather over the holidays and then start year 4 when 2021 starts. So we're down to 4.5 minutes. I want to give a shout out to the Digital Dice podcast crew, Dave and Uncle Ron. They just dropped their latest podcast episode today, number 63, and it was good. It was good about first impressions of various games. And yeah, imagine being a kid and getting APBA. Oh, that would be brutal. Unless you know your calculus and unless you know your trigonometry or something like that, Stratomatic would seem to be the easier game. I got started playing sports games. I would say, I was 15, 16, and I played Grand Slam baseball from Sherco. And that's how I got started. And then I graduated to pursue the pennant. I never got around to Stratomatic baseball, and I kind of wish that I had. Because of course, Stratomatic is the king of the baseball games. It's been featured in the movies. It's been featured. Wasn't it in a Spike Lee movie, I think, which was called Crooklyn. So you got that. Well, if I'm boring y'all, queue up the next 3 minutes and 22 seconds because we will be getting the game started then. That's why I have the timer, so I could chat with you and have a conversation if anybody wanted it. But not the case tonight, but that's fine. You people will still see me talking to myself. I'm looking at, we'll do the second half of week 13 tomorrow, and then I'm going to make my picks as to the 10 games I'm going to do for week 14 over the weekend, too. Week 14, let me see here. We haven't had a divisional round of games, and we will next week. Week 14 will be a divisional. Then 16 will be the last divisional round of games, and then 15 and 17 were going to be the interdivisional games. I don't know what I'm going to do with year two. I'm not doing a season 2 until, if I do one, I'm not going to be doing one until September of next year. With the historical collection Dave Koch just put out, is just putting out now, probably because it won't be getting started. They won't put out the next set until later on in 2021, I think, based on how things have been going. So we're down to 2 minutes. What else can I talk about real fast? Thanks to everybody for your concern about me and my good buddy Ada, Tropical Storm Ada. It howled pretty good Wednesday night, so there would have been no way I could have done the game. Plus, you don't know if the power is going to be on over the course of an hour to do the game. So I just said no. I saw Ada heading for us Wednesday morning. I said, I ain't doing a game tonight. We did 2 games last night. We're all caught up. We're all on schedule. So week 14 will be beginning Thanksgiving weekend, and we should get to the end of the regular season in January, and then in 3 weeks we will have the playoffs done because it's 15 games. 15 games. It's a single elimination tournament for the 16 teams, the 4 teams out of each conference, and then the teams will be reseeded to play each other in the semifinal, and then we'll have the first HTFL championship, which I'm thinking of calling Championship 1. You ever see a movie called 2-Minute Warning, which is, this was way before shootings became the norm in our society, and it's about a guy who just shoots up the Coliseum during a championship game. And it wasn't a bad movie, but it's not something I want to be reminded of now. Because it's not really a movie I want to see because it mimics what society has kind of turned into. And the Charlton Heston was in it, and it was a movie. Let's just say it was ahead of its time. So, on that note, we'll get started. Stand by, folks. Big Polly's World of Sports Sims proudly presents Friday Night Football the HTFL way. We're playing Philadelphia and Dallas week 13, and then next week we will have the 5 games remaining in week number 13. I am Big Polly. How are you doing today, ladies and gentlemen? And I bring up display capture A. Here we are. And I'm going to change slides like so, which you can't see, but we'll get this game started. It is Philadelphia and Dallas, both teams on the outside looking in the Eastern Conference. They're both 5 and 6. The team they are closest to in terms of the playoffs is New England and St. Louis. And New England is 26 points, net points, and St. Louis is 56. So New England is the team to chase. And whoever wins tonight, unless there is a tie, which we haven't had yet in the HTFL, will be one game out of the fourth and final wild card spot. So we will play this game. Dallas a 4-point favorite. They're at Cowboys Stadium indoors, 70 degrees. No chance of wind, no chance of rain. Computer control will be Philadelphia. I will control the Dallas Cowboys since they are at home. Donovan McNabb and Tony Romo, your quarterbacks. Andy Reid and Tom Landry will be your coaches. Dallas in their blue, which they rarely wear in real life, and Philadelphia in white. It is Marsh, Renfro, and Ishmael back deep. And this game is started. That is Marsh, a gain of 18 to the 18. So he caught it at the goal line. We'll set the Dallas offense for you. Smith, Walker, Irwin, Burford. First two being running backs, the last two being wideouts. Witten at tight end. Romo at quarterback. Wright, Allen, Frederick, Martin, and Smith will be your offensive line. For Philadelphia, Reggie White leading the defense. Simmons, Wistert, and Brown. Bednarik, Berge, Vaughn, your linebackers. Your defensive backs are Allen, Vincent, Dawkins, and Norton. We're going to stretch it out, and we're going to go Smith on 1st and 10. And that is a loss of 2 on the first carry. We'll take a look at Dallas and how they've been doing in the regular season real quick. And there you see it. They lost to Miami to open the season. They will get Miami next week. Then they came back, beat Buffalo. They beat Detroit 28-23 on a Monday night. They beat St. Louis 34-31, 28-17 over Tampa Bay, and their last win to date was 24-17 over New York at home. Since then, they have lost 38-28 to Minnesota, 35-33 to Dallas on Thanksgiving night. 2nd and 12, and we'll show you Philadelphia a little later. That looked like a busted play, and it was. Burford was hurt. And let's see here. He's not staying in the game. Des Bryant's going to come in favor of him. And that sets up 3rd and 16, so an auspicious start for the Cowboys. Long hitch to Jason Witten on 3rd and 16. Incomplete. That bounced right off his hands.
Offense, number 70.
And there was a holding penalty which will be declined, and Dallas will punt. 3 and out for them. Here's Danny White. Another one of these guys from the 70s and 80s who could not only play quarterback but could also punt. That was Pritchard on the return. A 2-yard return. The punt went 44. So we'll set Philadelphia's offense up. This is McCoy and Kish at running back. Jackson and McDonald at wideout. Retzlaff at tight end. McNabb at quarterback. Brown, Mathis, Kelsey, Andrews, Wistert, your offensive line. For Dallas, Jones, Martin, White, and Lilly are your front four. Howley, Hedrick, and Ware, your linebackers. Watts, Renfro, Woodson, and Green are your defensive backs. And we'll call this first play, and then we will show you how Philadelphia's been doing in the season. McNabb, a completion to Retzlaff, and a gain of 8. So let's show you how Philadelphia has been faring. Of course, they lost that heartbreaker to Buffalo to start the year, 37-34, when that game looked like it was going to go to overtime. Then Los Angeles beat them 19-7. They came back, played well against New England, 24-13. They won there. Then a win over Atlanta, 21-20. 34-20, they beat Tampa Bay. Of course, everybody's been beating Tampa Bay. Then they went on a 3-game losing streak. They beat Arizona 30-10. They beat Miami 33-30. And Las Vegas shocked Philadelphia out in Allegiant Stadium in Vegas, 41-24. The Las Vegas Ironmen, the Vagabond team as I like to call them, 2nd and 2. This is McCoy, and he gains 4 yards for the first down. It is 1st and 10 at the 42. So the Eagles are marching. That is thrown and caught to Tim McDonald, a gain of 13. Renfro on the tackle for Dallas. 1st and 10, ball at the 29. I am live, right? Yes, I am. Okay, folks. I just needed to double check. Sorry. Mike Clark is entering the game at Mike Quick. I'm sorry, folks. It is 2nd and 10 at the 29. Mike Quick wearing 82, I think. And that's a touchdown. It was Quick. 29 yards, the longest catch of the season for him, and it's 6-0 Eagles. Your point after try good by Akers. 7-0, and Chris Burford will return. Now, Dallas is a combination of the Dallas Texans, who played in the AFL from 60 to 62 before moving to Kansas City, and the Cowboys. So Burford is one of the few Texans on the roster. And again, Marsh will take the kick, 2 yards deep in his end zone this time, and he takes a knee, surprisingly. Smith, trap left on 1st and 10. Pittsburgh playing in a little tight. Gain of 5 yards, though, but Bednarik makes the tackle for the Eagles. They'll go Herschel Walker on the screen. And a blitz called, so this might work out very well for Dallas. It's caught. 30, 40, past midfield, and all the way down to the 45. Longest catch of the year for Herschel Walker of 30 yards. So now Dallas in business. 1st and 10. It's going to be a trap right, Emmitt Smith. Gain of 4 yards. That sets up a 2nd and 6 at the 41. Trap left, which we're gonna turn into a long passing play because the Eagles are bunched in tight. We're gonna go long fly to Irvin. He's 88, and that's incomplete. Deflected by Norton, and it's 3rd and 6. Man in motion, medium pass. We're gonna look to Dez Bryant, who's the 3rd wide receiver now with Burford back, all wearing 88. That was intended for Bryant, but incomplete. So at the 41, they do not want to bring Bailey in. He's got about an 18% shot of hitting a 58-yard field goal. They'll bring in Danny White, and he'll try to shoehorn it in. A sideline punt, but a touchback. 8:55 left opening quarter. It is 7-0 in favor of the Eagles. 1st and 10. One of these teams is going to wind up 6 and 6 on the night. Gain of 16. That's McNabb to McDonald. A 1st and 10 at the 36. A throw. A catch. Jackson, a gain of 9. Harold Jackson. So Philadelphia has it moving, 2nd and 1 at the 45. 8:02 now left opening quarter. And McCoy stopped at the line for no gain by Ware. Take a look at him real fast. That is DeMarcus Ware. He has, on defense, 58 tackles, 3 sacks, and that's about it. 3rd and 1, ball at the 45. McCoy, can he penetrate? He cannot. No gain, a 2-yard loss, in fact. Too Tall Jones makes the tackle, and it's 4th and 3 at the 43. Punting time. Oh, it's a fake. Zimmerman was back to punt. He ran with it. only got a yard, and Dallas is going to take over an excellent field position at the Philly 44. Herschel Walker, a trap right. I like to watch for the fake punts, but even that caught me off guard. 2nd and 10. Pitch to Smith. And Smith is going to gain 8 yards to make it 3rd and 2. He was pushed out by Maxie Bond. Smith, dive play. See if the Eagles were keying on him. They didn't seem to be. Gain of 3, but it's going to come back.
Number 82, 10-yard penalty.
And that is a hold against Jason Witten. 3rd and 12 at the 40 now. Shotgun, man in motion. Medium pass. Dez Bryant. That's caught. A gain of 14, so they still get the first down. And it is dawning on me that I forgot to post the fact that I am doing a game on the Digital to Dice Facebook group, so I'm going to do that right now. Stand by, folks. I'm going to record something here. Happening now, comma, Philly at Dallas, period. That didn't work. Hang on, folks. I don't mean to hold up the game. We'll go Smith, off tackle right. That's a gain of 9 yards. He had 118 against Green Bay last week. Brown out of the game. And I don't see how that changes the offense. I think it was Jerome Brown they're talking about. Philadeelphia at Dallas, happening now. Period. There. That should fix that. 2nd and 1 at the 23. I get lonely talking to myself sometimes. I can't help it. Smith. Dive play. That is a gain just short of the first. He did not get the first down. I thought he had it. We're going to go Burford on the short cross on 3rd and inches. Incomplete. That sets up a 4th down, and Bailey will come on and try a field goal of 39 yards. It's good. And Dallas cuts the lead to 7-3. We have 2:41 left, first quarter. Brown back deep with Nelson and Van Buren. Touchback. So Philly sets up 1st and 10 at the 20. McNabb looking, throwing, incomplete. McCoy was the intended receiver, and we're being told it was a terrible throw by Donovan McNabb. And we'll take the computer's word for it. 2nd and 10 at the 20. McCoy in the screen, and that's incomplete. Howley providing good coverage defensively. 3rd and 10, the ball at the 20. McNabb, incomplete. 4th and 10, and Philly will have to punt. Here's Zimmerman, I think. Return.
Offsides. Offense. 5-yard penalty.
Will decline the penalty and take the ball right at midfield almost. 1st and 10 at the Dallas 48. Zimmerman's punt was 41 yards, returned by 9. Tom Brookshire made the tackle. Trap left, Emmitt Smith. And Smith, who's been held in check for most of the first quarter, 7 carries, 27 yards. He's gained 2 yards there. Gaining a little bit at a time, but he hasn't had the big one yet. Herschel Walker off tackle right, 2nd and 8. Gain of 2 yards. And it is 3rd and 6. Ball at the 48. Cross, looking for Dez Bryant. That is caught, and it was by Bryant, making the catch, a gain of 13. We're nearing the end of the first quarter. They'll get one more playoff. Smith, trap left. Philly was playing tight, but Smith still gains 6 yards. That ends the first quarter, and it's 7-3 in favor of the Eagles. Fly, Eagles, fly. I love that song. Okay, so we start a second quarter. We have 18 plays, 88 yards for Dallas. We have 13 plays and 78 yards for Philadelphia. Smith, trap right. This will be his 9th carry of the game. And that's a gain of 3 to set up a 3rd and 1. And I think this is where we get a little crafty here. We go play action to Irvin. And this is going to be a medium hitch to somebody. It was dumped off to Herschel. He gains 9, and it's a first down. So Dallas now in the Philly red zone. Off tackle right, Emmett. We'll just keep with that. Emmett, a gain of 10. He's now at 10 carries and 46 yards. Walker, trap right. Now again, Philly's playing short and tight, so you throw over that and you go to Jason Witten on a medium hitch. Incomplete. Through the back of the end zone. And I'm coughing again. That sets up a 2nd and goal at the 7. It's going to be Emmett, trap right. And back to the line and nothing else. 3rd and goal at the 7. They'll look to Burford. Actually, there are not a lot of good plays here. Cross to Irvin. We'll try that. Instead, it goes to Herschel. He gains 3. He needed 7 for the touchdown. And on 4th and 4, 4th and goal from the 4, would be 4th and 4. Bailey, a chip shot, and he got it. 7-6 with 11:21 left in the first half. Brown again back deep for Philly, and another touchback. See what the Eagles do here. 1st and 10 at the 20. Give to McCoy. He gains 2. 2nd and 8 at the 22. Wasn't too long ago the Eagles won a Super Bowl, Super Bowl 52, and it was the first time they had won a Super Bowl. The last time they had won an NFL championship, they were not playing the Super Bowls. DeMarcus Ware is out of the game, so the linebackers are now Howley and Hedrick, but Dallas will be playing in a nickel on this 3rd and 8 play. So that might be a great gauge as to who is subbing for Ware. This is a screen to McCoy, who picks up 20. Smith on the tackle at the 42. Ware is back in the game in one of the outside linebacker spots. 1st and 10 at the 42. Hello, Al, Red Sox fan. How are you doing, sir? Gain of 14 as McNabb goes to Retzlaff. Glad you're okay after Ada, listening while I play cards. Go Tony, go Herschel, yes. 1st and 10 at the 44. McNabb's going to run, and he gains 4 yards. Retzlaff hurt on the play, away from the play, and he is out for the game, so they'll need another tight end. Pete, now is this Phyhos or Pihos? I do not know, but it's obviously Greek to me. 2nd and 6 at the 40. He was on those Eagles teams that won back-to-back titles in 48 and 49, if I recall correctly. Gain of 5. McCoy throwing underneath. The target of a throw underneath by McNabb. We have a double tight end set, so now it is Pihos up top, or Pihos, and Jack Ferranti as the other tight end. 3rd and a yard. McCoy will get the first down, a pickup of 2. Having coughing fits all over. 1st and 10 at the 33. I don't know what it is I did, but it's the way it's been going today. 1st and 10. This is McCoy. He will get the first down and a little more. 13 yards. Renfro on the stop. And it's 1st and 10 at the 20. McCoy again. Another first down again. Pickup of 12. McCoy is now at 7 carries and 31 yards on the day. Emmett is at 11 and 46. Herschel Walker, 3 catches, 42 yards out of the backfield. He also has 2 carries and 2 yards. McNabb throwing, incomplete. 2nd and goal at the 8. And a touchdown. That is McNabb throwing to McDonald, and that was an 11-play drive, 80 yards, and taking 5:41 off the clock, making it, for the moment, 13-6. Your point after is good by Akers, and we're at 14-6 with 5:40 to go. Marsh, Renfro, Ishmael, again, back deep. For Dallas, this is Marsh, and Marsh mushes to the 26. I'm going to go Walker off tackle right. Herschel Walker is one of the best running backs I've ever seen at the college level. He played for Georgia, took them to the national championship the 80-81 season, and then he went to the USFL after a few years. 2nd and 9. Pitch right Emmett. Gain of 4.
Holding. Offense. Number 88.
And a hold against Chris Burford, making it 2nd and 19. So we'll go 3 wide, put a man in motion, the shotgun. Go to Witten. Incomplete. Romo has started 5 out of 11, 69 yards. McNabb 9 out of 15, 122 yards and 2 touchdowns. 3rd and 10, so Romo's going to have to stretch the field here a little bit. We're going to go Bryant on the medium out, which might beat the deep zone that Philly is playing. It does not. It's way short. A gain of 10. They needed 19. 4:21 left in the first half, and Danny White back to punt. And this is going to be returned a little bit by Pritchard. 5-yard return, 44-yard punt, so the net will be 39. 1st and 10 at the 34. This is LaShawn McCoy, the recipient of the pass. He now has 3 catches and 30 yards. 2nd and 5 at the 39. This is going to be a pitch to McCoy. And McCoy, no game. Do not want to call a timeout yet. 3rd and 5. We're down to 2:52 left in the opening half. McNabb incomplete. And Philly will punt unless they fake, which they had done earlier.
Offense. 5-yard penalty.
But before that, we have a delay of game penalty to work through. So it's 4th and 10 at the 34. That'll be the line of scrimmage. Zimmerman back at the punt. The real name of Bob Dylan. 46 yards. Martin with the fair catch and no return. 1st and 10 Dallas. They're going to go long here. Try to get one in before the 2-minute warning. Play action long pass to Irvin. And he's got it. That is Irvin gaining 24 yards. 2:08 left, and we'll go to the 2-minute warning with the score 14-6. Each team with all of their timeouts left, full complement. Screen to Walker, and he's had a good game so far out of the backfield, catching passes. But that one was intended towards him, but never was caught. But Bednarik makes the coverage. Going to be 2nd and 10. Bryant on the medium slant. Heavy blitz, so this might work out well. There he goes. Bryant catches it, a gain of 23, and I think Dallas will use the timeout here. I've mentioned this game before on the HTFL channel. Texas Stadium, trap right Emmett Smith, was the site of one of the strangest high school games ever played between John Tyler and Plano East in 1994. We're going to go no huddle. Medium out. Plano got 4 touchdowns in 3 minutes to take a lead. And it was one of the great comebacks ever, but there was still time for John Tyler to get a touchdown, and they got it on a kick return. If you've ever seen that game on YouTube, that is a treasure. Medium fly to Burford, 3rd and 8.
False start.
Well, it's going to be 3rd and
Offense,
13.
Number 22, 5-yard penalty. Repeat, 3rd down.
The gentlemen doing the play-by-play of the game were homers for the Plano team. And their reaction is they're getting a touchdown, an onside kick, a touchdown, an onside kick, a touchdown. It was incredible to watch. Okay, this is going to be a blitz. We're going to go slant. It was John Tyler and Plano East. It was a playoff game in 1994 because it was Texas Stadium and they had the diamond logo for the NFL on the field. Sideline punt. This is going to be close, and it's a touchback. Should have pooched it. And it's 1st and 10 Philly at their own 20. Gain of 6 by McCoy. Green making the tackle. I think Philly wants to run out the half unless they get a big play. And McCoy picks up 10 yards. I am not calling a timeout because I want to get to the half too. Long throw, caught, and now McDonald of a 26-yard gain. Will Philly call time now? They do. They have 1 timeout left, and they're at the 38 of Dallas. 13 seconds to go, and we'll watch and see here. McNabb, fumble. But it was recovered by McNabb. 3 seconds left. Will the Eagles call another timeout? They will not. We'll go to the half. It is 14-6 in favor of Philly, and I will be right back within about 30 seconds. I'm just going to take a swig of water and be right back with you. So it's 14-6, but you knew that already. Philly leading Dallas. The winner tonight will go 6-6. They'll be a game behind New England for the final wildcard spot in the Eastern Conference. Philly has 203 yards, 30 plays. Dallas 173 and 33. Dallas kicking off to Philly. It is Brown back deep and another touchback. So Dallas doing good on the kickoffs. 1st and 10 at the 20. McCoy. I'm a running back, not a bricklayer. 6-yard gain, and that gets him to 11 carries for the night and 53 yards. 2nd and 4. McCoy will be trapped for a loss there. Bob Lilly makes the tackle. 2-yard loss. 3rd and 6 at the 24. McCoy loss again, 1 yard. Bob Lilly makes the tackle. So the Eagles will punt. Here is Zimmerman. And it was a little bit of a short punt. Rolled dead at the 35. The punt went 42. And that's where Dallas is going to start. Smith. Pitch to the right side. And that's going to gain a little bit. Burford injured his hamstring on the last play. That was a 5-yard gain. His return questionable. So Des Bryant moves up and plays the second wide receiver here. Smith, screen on 2nd and 5. On the money to him. And he gets the first down, a pickup of 7. Tony Hill will be the intended receiver here. A short cross. He fills in for Bryant as Bryant fills in for Burford. And that's incomplete. Back to the base formation. Trap right, Emmitt Smith. And a gain of 5, setting up 3rd and 5. Witten, a medium hitch. Blitz coming, so we're going to change it to a medium slant and look for Tony Hill. Incomplete.
Personal foul.
And we have an ejection.
15-yard penalty, automatic. First down.
One of the backup defensive backs, or one of the fifth, extra defensive backs, Brown, has been excused from the rest of the game. There was a fight on the field, and Brown started the fight. It's a first down for Dallas at the Philly 33, so Brown will be watching the rest of the game in the locker room. Smith picks up the first down, a little more, a pickup of 12. There was 13 yards actually he gained, and Smith is at 71 yards, 15 carries. End around, and we're going to look to Tony Hill for that. Call an unusual play. Oh, but Hill could not get around some swarming Philly defenders. Dawkins makes the tackle, and it's a loss of 8. Bad time for some trickeration. Screen to Smith. And we'll see how much Smith can pick up. He's going to be close to the first. He got it. So a nice gain for Emmett. That is his second catch of the day, 25 yards. Smith. Actually, we're going to go to Walker and give him the ball. We'll give Smith a chance to recuperate a little bit. Walker gains 4. He is now at 4 carries, 7 yards, but he also has those 3 catches for 42. Witten over the middle on the crossing route. Second and goal at the 6. Incomplete. So again, will the Cowboys be denied so close to the goal line? Tony Hill, short cross. And Tony Hill with the touchdown. He made some clutch catches for the Cowboys back in the day. Late 70s and early 80s. And it's 14-12. I am going to go for 2 here. We'll go full house. We're going to go Ezekiel Elliott on a dive. And he has the 2 points. It's good. 14-14 with 7:39 now left to go. Brown back deep for Philly, and it's another touchback. First and 10, Philly at the 20. A dead even game now. McCoy catches that in the flat and gains 5 yards. Now he has 4 catches on the day, 35 yards. Second and 5 at the 25. This is McCoy again, and he's got a hole. A big play, 18 yards. Renfro on the tackle. First and 10 at the 43. That moves McCoy to 68 yards rushing on the day. And McCoy now the leading rusher in the game as he picks up 6 there. Hedrick makes the stop for the Cowboys. Second and 4 at the 49. McCoy again. Gain of 5. He is now at 79 yards on 16 carries, and they just keep feeding him the ball. Incomplete, looking for Pijos. And that was a bad pass thrown by McNabb. Second and 10 at the Dallas 46. Sack. Hedrick. That's for a 12-yard loss. Third and a cab ride from Fort Worth for Philly. McNabb in the pocket throws. He's going to be short of the first down. That's Mike Quick. A gain of 17 yards, 4th and 5. I will watch for the fake punt here. I don't think they've done a fake punt twice in a game. And that's out at the 5. No penalty on the play. And that's where Dallas will start. 2:59 left third quarter. We're a dead even game at 14-14. Smith. A nice gain. Vincent made a good tackle. Throws up Smith in his tracks, and that's a gain of 6 yards. And Smith now 77 yards. We'll go back to him. Outside run. And Smith will get the first to pick up a 5. He's now at 82. Maxie Bond with his 10th tackle of the day. We're going to put a man in motion. We're going to go medium cross, and we're going to look to Jay Novacek. Incomplete. Romo, 11 of 23, 157 yards and a touch. McNabb, 13 of 21, 175 and 2 touchdowns. This is Emmett, who gains 1 yard. Bond makes the tackle, 3rd and 9. Bryant, medium slant. Gain of 14. And that'll do it for the third quarter. We are dead even at 14 and 14. Philly has 245 yards, 39 plays. Dallas has 249 and 48 plays. 1st and 10 at the 31. Walker will get it on a dive. And he gets back to the line. In fact, he gained a yard. White made the tackle for Philly. And it's 2nd and 9. Sweep right, Emmitt Smith. There goes Emmett. And he picks up 19 yards, and that puts him over 100 on the day. And it makes it a 1st and 10 at the 49 as Dallas not giving up on the running game. Emmett picks up 7 more. 2nd and 3. They will go long. Emmett out of Pensacola, Florida. That fell incomplete. Romo was hit as he threw. And it didn't say who the intended receiver was. 3rd and 2. It was a guy wearing 88. We know that. Irvin, median pass. And there's another cough. Incomplete pass. Romo intended for Irvin. 4th and 3 at the 42. Bailey would have a 9% chance of hitting the field goal, so it's pooch punt time. And that's a touchback. Emmitt Smith is out of Pensacola. What other athlete is famous for being from Pensacola, Florida? 1st and 10 at the 20. Prop 2 trivia question. Fihos with a nice gain. That's 18. Cornell Green made the tackle for Dallas. So McNabb gives it to McCoy. He loses a yard, and Hedrick makes the tackle. 2nd and 11 at the 37. That's a throw and a catch to Pihos, Pihos gains 15. Here's your next play. 1st and 10 at the Dallas 48. Now, you could make the argument, Roy Jones Jr., yes, thank you, Al. I was just about to answer that. You could make the argument that there are also some other players, but that's who I was thinking of as Roy Jones, the boxer who was robbed at the '88 Olympics and had quite an interesting boxing career. 3rd and 10. Hedrick out for the remainder of the game, so an inside linebacker, well, we don't know who the inside linebacker will be just yet, as Philly is going 3 wide and Dallas goes to the nickel. It's 3rd and 10 at the 48. That is caught by 29. Jackson, a gain of 22. McNabb now 16 of 24, 230 on the nose, 2 touchdowns. 1st and 10 at the 26. McNabb sacked by Jordan. 11 yards on the loss. It is 2nd and 21 at the 37. That's a throw and a catch to McCoy, who gained 7. 3rd and 14 at the 30. Screen. Incomplete, looking for McCoy. So now they bring in Akers. He'll try a field goal for 47 yards with 7:19 left, and it is good. So 17-14, Philly leading, and we have 7:13 left to go in regulation time. Marsh back deep. Caught at the 1. He moves it out to the 23, a gain of 22 yards. Smith, trap right, screen to Walker, and Walker will get the first down, a pickup of 11. Good little safety valve for the Cowboys to continue to use. 6:48 left. Are you better off running the ball against Philly with a 10-8-8-8 on the defensive line, or are you better off throwing with a 9-9-10-8 as your defensive backs? I would say trying to run the ball would be the strategy. But you're also running out of time here. Gain of 5. Smith. 2nd and 5 at the 39. Go to Walker, trap left. On that 2nd and 5. Walker's going to get the first. He's going to get a lot more. Past the 45 to the 42. He gains 19 yards. That moves him to 6 carries and 27 yards to go with his 4 catches for 53. Medium fly. Des Bryant. He's got it. Gain of 18. So excellent call to throw on first down. Des Bryant now a season high of 6 catches. 1st and 10 at the 24. We're down to 4:27 to go. Smith, a gain of 6. He's now up to 120. Walker, outside run, a blitz coming, so we're going to change it to a Walker screen. He's open. This could be 6, and it is. Touchdown. Cowboys. Herschel Walker with his 5th catch of the day for 71 yards. Point after is just barely within the right upright for Dan Bailey, and it's 21-17. We have 3 minutes exactly now left in the game. Ryan Westbrook and Harold Carmichael will come into the game, try to give Philly a little speed. 1st and 10 at the 20. This is a screen to Westbrook. He gains 8 yards. Dallas will not call any timeouts and help Philly out. 2nd and 2. A marker.
False start. Offense. Number 70. 5-yard penalty.
That is Wistert called for the false start. 2nd and 7 at the 23, I'm sorry. It's time of night for me when the 3s and the 8s get a little mixed up. On the last play, Harvey Martin will not return, so it is now Randy White, Bob Lilly, Chutal Jones, and George Andre will be, I believe, the replacement for Harvey Martin. You see him there out of Marquette, back when they played football, 3rd and 7. Of course, Marquette famously winning the college basketball championship in 1977 in the final game of Al McGuire. 4th and 7 at the 23. Carmichael, a first down. A pickup of 8 when they needed 7. And the clock will continue to run. They'll get a playoff before the 2. Incomplete, but a marker.
Holding defense. Number 20, 5-yard penalty.
Oh, those pesky holding
down.
defensive holding penalties. That is against Renfro. And we are at the 2-minute warning. Eagles have 3 timeouts, so do the Cowboys. It's 21-17 in favor of Dallas, and we'll know the winner of this game shortly. Unless we go overtime, which doesn't look likely at this point. Jackson picks up 9. McNabb now 20 of 30, 262, 2 touchdowns. 2nd and 1. Incomplete. 3rd and a yard. They'll get the first down yardage. That's Westbrook. He gains 8. Eagles have yet to use a timeout. They do so here with a $1.27. Ball is now at the 47 of Dallas. 1st and 10, but they have to score the touchdown. McNabb sacked by Howley. A loss of 7. 2nd and 17. Ball at the 46 of Philly. The throw, incomplete, looking for Carmichael. Advantage Dallas here, 3rd and 17. There's your throw. It's incomplete. Quick one at the flag. He got none. So could be it for the Eagles. We're going to play a 3-2 prevent deep zone. Screen. Can Westbrook get the first down yardage? He cannot. A gain of 10. And Dallas is going to take over with 1 minute to go, and they could run out the clock. Play safe, boys. Emmitt Smith, the carry. Do not fumble. Gain of a yard. Philly calls their last timeout, so now Romo can take 2 knees, and we will call it a game. Dallas will go to 6-6 on the year, and Philly will fall to 5-7. Good game. But it goes Dallas's way to wrap up the first part of Week 13 here, the calendar week that we do, 21-17. Who do you think player of the game was? I'm going to say, Tony Romo got it, which kind of surprises me. Romo did throw 2 touchdown passes, including the game winner to Herschel Walker. We'll look at the team stats. It was close. It was 352-331 Dallas in yardage. Philly scored their only trip to the red zone, a touchdown. Dallas went 3 out of 4. Penalties were not a factor in this game. 7 were called total, 4 for Dallas, 3 for Philly. Dallas had it 32 minutes and 11 seconds. They ran 62 plays, and Philly ran 57. So let's look at the player stats. McNabb had the better quarterbacking day, 21 of 34, was sacked 4 times, 2 touchdown throws, and his game rating was 106.5. The leading rusher, Emmitt Smith, 121. Dez Bryant had 6 catches, 92 yards, and he led in catches and yardage. I always like to look at the leading tacklers and acknowledge them. Renfro of Dallas had 8. Maxie Bond with 14 tackles. Thank you for dropping by, Al Red Sox fan. It's always an honor to have you here. And we'll go look at the standings and we'll get on out of here. So Philly, now 5-7. They'll be 2 games behind New England for second place in the division. Dallas can now move in to a point where they could get into playoffs with that 6-6 mark. St. Louis has been faltering the last few games. They're 7-5. So still wide open for the wild card spots in the Eastern Conference. And we'll show you the next games, the games for next week. Baltimore, Denver, San Francisco, Arizona, Green Bay, San Diego, New Orleans goes to Los Angeles. Buffalo and Detroit is the quote-unquote Monday night game. Each team 4-7, but I don't flex my Monday night games out, and that'll be it. Even though both teams are faltering, that'll be an interesting running back matchup, the Juice against Barry Sanders. So I hope you enjoyed today's game. This has been Big Paulie coming to you. We wish you well. Enjoy the weekend if you're seeing this on a Friday.